Hello, Josh Levenhagen here. Welcome to your Friday Emotional and Spiritual Health Devotional. Let's talk about children first. As you may have seen on the Facebook group by now, we actually have physical children's church materials for you to stop by and take home. They contain all of your print materials, object lessons, and even craft supplies that you need for up to 3 children for each kit. So for the next 2 weeks, we'll be making these kits available from Thursday to Friday at noon. But if you can't make it until later, just contact me and I'll make sure that one of them gets into your hands, taking all the proper precautions, of course. So Sam, your teacher from elementary, has gone ahead and built a lesson specifically designed to do at home. And Angela actually came in and helped put together these kits. So for this Sunday, you have a kit that has all of your print materials are in the envelope. So this is going to be your script and any of the craft pages. You have palm branches that you can put on this poster board and color in and make palm branches to wave with us. And you have a craft baggie that's got all your crafts that you need inside it. We've got rocks. We have a cool experiment for talking about Jesus taking away our sin, which uses some of the same mechanics as an object lesson you guys have seen lately with dish soap and pepper, talking about how to get rid of viruses and diseases while using hand soap. So this kit, there are multiple of them available, are sitting in the airlock right now, and they will be available anytime you need to come and pick one up. Just contact me. If it's not during regular church hours, I will make sure that you have access to one. Now, these materials are important because we have something special we're going to do. This Sunday, for Palm Sunday at 11 a.m., I'm going to be live streaming from our kids' room. I'm going to be doing an activity with you guys. I'm going to be reading a story from our younger elementary age children's Bible. And who knows, a puppet may even come out and introduce himself to help with the object lesson. So tune in at 11 a.m. Have your materials ready and your activities ready. We're going to have children's church together for Palm Sunday, and we're going to do the same thing next week for Easter. So make sure you tune in to Facebook Live, 11 a.m. for Palm Sunday. All right, so I've got 3 things for you guys today. The first one is very special, and it's a children's book. You guys know that we've been talking about fear and trust and how both of those are spiritual and emotional concepts. We've been trying to dispel fear and instill trust in God in our children. This book is going to help you do that. It's called It Will Be Okay by Lisa Turkhurst, and it's the story of a little seed. And the seed was comfortable in its comfortable little seed packet until it was knocked off the shelf and until the farmer took it and put it into a dark and messy place where it continually had conversations with its friend, the little fox. This book is wonderful. It starts a wonderful conversation about trusting in God, even though we're going through dark times. I think it fits in perfectly with everything we're trying to do with our children. Now, you can get this book on Amazon. I feel like reading Rainbow right now, LeVar Burton, who's like, you don't have to take my word for it. You can get this book on Amazon. If you have the Kindle app, it's actually free with the Kindle app. You don't have to purchase it. So check it out, Google it, look up where to get it. I'll send you guys an Amazon link. But again, if you guys have a Kindle app or a Kindle, you should be able to download it for free. So It Will Be Okay, Lisa Turkhurst. A wonderful book to read to your kids about fear and trust. All right, so the last 2 things I've got for you have to do with prayer, which is this week's theme. Again, we've been talking about fear and trust. We've been talking about putting our faith in God, letting His peace that is greater than what we don't understand guard our hearts and our minds. But all of that is not possible without prayer. We need to be engaging with our families and leading our families in prayer right now. So, just like we released our Communication at Home home kit from our Faith at Home Center, we are now going to be releasing to you Prayer at Home. Here's what comes in the kit. The Prayer at Home kit consists of, the first thing, is a Prayer at Home calendar. It guides you in some of the tips on how to do the calendar, and it actually has on the back, you can hang this in your house, a prayer calendar to go through with your children, to remember to be praying for other people during this time. In the weekly message that we watched last night from Greg Rochelle, he reminded us that we are not to be selfish during this time. We're supposed to be servants. And one of the ways that we can do that is to intercede and petition God and to pray for everybody else who is hurting during this time. So the specific focus that they give for prayer at home is the 752 prayer challenge. I'm going to challenge you guys over the next couple of weeks to do the 752 challenge. Here's what the 752 is. 1, 7, pray 7 times a week individually for yourself, your spouse, your kids, grandkids, parents, and siblings. 7 days a week, pray by yourself. 2, 5, pray 5 times a week as a family, including meals and bedtime. And the last one, 2, pray at least 2 times a week with just your spouse. 752, pray 7 times a week by yourself, pray 5 times a week together with your family, pray at least 2 times a week with your spouse or so your significant other. That's the 752 challenge. I'm encouraging you guys to get this calendar hung up in your house and take the 752 challenge. Along with it comes this pamphlet. Now, this pamphlet is 2 pages long, and it gives you a bunch of tips and guides how to overcome challenges, how to teach your kids about prayer, how to bring your entire family together and to make this a consistent habit, to actually make it work. Now, both of these resources, obviously, I'm going to send in the email tonight, in the Friday email, but I know that some of you guys don't have printers at home, and I know that's making it difficult because I'm sending home a lot of print materials. So just like we did with the children's church packets that are sitting in the airlock, I have moved our Faith at Home Center to the airlock as well. It doesn't have all of our resources, but it does have the most important and most recent ones. You will find the Communication at Home kits there, and you will find our new Prayer at Home materials there as well, waiting for you. So if you want to come by anytime during normal business hours for the next few weeks until we're back together as a group, you can come pick up the Prayer at Home Challenge and the Communication at Home kit. There's also a podcast that comes with this Prayer at Home kit. I'm just going to send the podcast to you guys digitally over email, especially since there's only one track. Part of the Prayer at Home kit is a series of articles on Focus on the Family. And remember, Focus on the Family, that's one of our new kind of resources that we've been talking about. They have an article series about prayer, and it's meant to be used as a devotional. It's got 5 chapters, and it goes through what is prayer? How does prayer work? What's some of the theology of prayer? How can we talk to God about things and gets into some deeper issues about how we feel about prayer and how to really make our prayer lives healthy? I encourage you guys, read the article, read all 5 chapters in the article as a devotional, maybe read a chapter a night, and get yourself familiar with these questions and these answers and these ideas about prayer, and start to just build up the strength of your prayer life. Your children and your family are going to be looking to you as parents to lead them and guide them through this time. Let's build up our strength when it comes to our prayer life, and let's lead our families, not just in decision making, but in prayer. So, not surprisingly, my devotional for today is all about prayer. It comes from Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 through 30. I'm going to go ahead and read these for you. Then Jesus said, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy to bear, and the burden that I give you is light." Prayer is our access to God and all that He offers us. If He is the parent holding our hand, like we've talked about the last few weeks, then that physical contact would be prayer. If the internet that runs through the cables and the ceilings of this building are God's presence, then the wireless modems and the hardware in my computer that let me access that internet without plugging into it, that's prayer, that's access. Without them, I cannot access what is right here. But with them, I can have everything I need as long as I tap into it and remain in my computer's limited range. I can't walk too far away from the church. I'll lose the connection to the internet. I can't walk too far out of my office. My internet cord does not reach that long. Prayer is our access to God. He is not going anywhere. He is right here. But we have to be willing to tap into that and not just give, but receive through that conduit. We need to be willing to keep our access to God and His access to us open. In one of the weekly messages I wrote, I talked about fear. We talked about transferring that burden of fear to our Father. We talked about how when we were holding our parents' hands as children, we didn't compare the thing that was a danger to us with us. We compared it to how threatening our parent was, and we were no longer afraid because the thing we were comparing, that stuff that scared us to, wasn't our own strength anymore. It was the strength of the parent who we were holding their hand. We talked about transferring the burden of fear to our Father. Jesus says that His burden is light. He wants to carry the load that we are carrying, but we have to be connected to Him as a family in order to give it to Him. I implore you, take this time as an opportunity to lead your family together through prayer. Take the 752 challenge. Pray 7 times a week by yourself. Pray 5 times a week as a family. Pray 2 times a week with your significant other or your spouse. Grow closer to God and each other through increasing your access to God and His access to you. Transfer the burdens of fear and stress and worry from yourself to Him. God bless. Stay safe. I will see you guys at 11 a.m. this Sunday for Palm Sunday. Bye-bye.